So you guys want to improve your sprint or improve your ability to close a gap, get out of the saddle and power as fast as you can, as long as you can. Well, in this video, we're going to talk about sprint training for cyclists and how it can help you become a better sprinter coming up. Today I'm doing rate of force of development work, basically a combination of power and also just trying to move as much weight as I can, as fast as I can, in an effort to improve my sprinting on my bike. Went to 185 pounds. I weigh around 173 right now, so I'm pretty stoked. Feels light already. I'm moving that as fast as I can, believe it or not. All right, that felt pretty good. That first rep felt good. Let's see how the right leg feels. Awesome. Whew. Wow. Bro, that felt just fantastic. Oh my gosh, let me catch my breath, but I've been really working hard on those for like the last 3 months, especially during COVID, and I've been enjoying the unilateral work, especially that Bulgarian split squat. Getting that back foot on that lower bar there really isolates the glute and that front leg. And the key is really to press through the heel. You don't want to be in, you could be in the ball of the foot, but I feel like you get more glute engagement if you're through the heel. So I really like that a lot, especially for accelerations in the saddle if you're in a group ride or if you're on a BMX bike, a track bike, it doesn't matter. Your glutes are going to be the limiting factor in terms of triple extension force. So that is an awesome exercise, I think. Better than a squat. A squat is going to be bilateral. This is unilateral. So we're working one leg at a time when we're pedaling, accelerating. What I like about the unilateral there, at 185 pounds, conceivably, I'm doing, you know, if I was to do a bilateral squat, that's around 360 pound squat. Now I can't squat 360 right now. It's just taking too much in my back. And as I'm getting older, I have to be more smarter. And so, you know, I'm choosing exercises like this. I love this exercise, and many guys like my age and guys that want to improve their sprint in cycling may like this exercise too. All right, let's get another set in. I'm going to do probably 3 sets of this. I think I can go up in weight, but you know, at the end of the day, I don't want to get greedy. I want to really focus on the ability to increase my rate of force development here. Focus on moving heavy weight as fast as I can. If I start increasing weight, sure, I might increase strength, but the weight's not going to move as fast. And so, you know, again, I don't want to put too much weight on too early. I could figure out other ways to get stronger, adding, you know, doing other exercises, getting stronger there. But I think with a unilateral exercise like this, where, you know, there's so many things going on with, you know, not only the triple extension of the ankle, knee, and hip joint muscles, but also you have the stabilizers such as the adductor and the abductor, which is your glute medius and your inner thigh muscles. Those are really coming into effect here, so I don't want to impose too much too soon, especially on those stabilizer muscles. So I'm going to be content with staying around 185 pounds. Listen, I'm already 10 pounds over my body weight, bro. So, you know, if I just focus on low reps and moving it fast, man, I'm going to be killing it on the sprint come this weekend. All right, let's do it. 3 reps, moving it fast. That was the goal here. It does feel light, it feels really nice. Get that back foot on. Drive through the heel. Oh yeah, that feels great. That's as fast as I can go. And although my back foot is on that bar, it's just keeping me stable, not using it in any way, shape, or form of assisting my ascension of the exercise here. All right, here we go. Whew. Oh yeah, I feel that. Yeah, I really like this exercise because, again, I can't express how much this has enabled me to assist me in my climbing, especially, you know, here in San Diego, we don't have any long climbs. We're going to be climbing more than 6, 7, 8 minutes. So, you know, if it's a 5-minute climb, you know, you're generally speaking, you're going to be in VO2. If not, if you're heavier, you're going to be in zone 6, and your heart rate's going to get jacked up, and your muscles are going to fill of lactic acid and metabolic waste, and you're going to get popped off the front group. And so I feel like just by weight training alone, it's enabled me to be more efficient. I'm able to turn muscles on and off, which is really key in terms of efficiency. And I've noticed that my anaerobic muscular endurance, more importantly, you know, when I'm doing these big efforts with the top cyclist here in San Diego, around 3 to 5 minute efforts, I'm having no problems. I don't feel like my breathing's being compromised. You know, I used to do a bunch of VO2 work back when I was doing crit racing, and that is a pain in the ass, and that shit sucks. With weightlifting, I feel like it's been a great substitute, especially for, you know, beginning of the week coming in fresh. I'm basically working on those same muscle fibers for those type of efforts where, you know, that demand is required. So really pumped on weightlifting. And I also noticed that Chad Timmerman over at Trainer Road, if you watch some of their videos, they talked about strength training for cyclists. And one of the key things that he spoke about, which I really appreciated, was typically cyclists, you know, they start a weight training routine, and the problem with that is that they don't maintain it. So he's like, look, if you're going to start it, you need to maintain it, otherwise don't even bother at all. And so, you know, I'm getting a lot of cyclists here locally asking me, hey, you know what, maybe I should try it. Maybe I should just do it in the off season. And I think at the end of the day, listen, I've been weightlifting every week, dedicated on a Tuesday, religiously, right? Just like the religious group ride, I'm doing it Tuesday and I'm dedicated. And bro, I'm noticing a big difference in my efficiency, especially in that critical VO2 to zone 6 power when you need it. And, you know, and I've also been losing weight. I've been watching what I eat, and I'm losing weight, and you know, I'm not getting bigger. That's the whole point. Like, I think the general deletion, the distortion of weightlifting is, oh man, I don't want to get bigger. And we all tend to be a little bit neurotic about our weight. And the bottom line is, gym training, strength training, we tend to think like we need to go in and just give it everything we got and put in like a 3-hour day, like a big ride day in the gym. And that's not the case. It needs to be treated just like specific VO2 type, or, you know, or even zone 6, you know, 1 to 2 minute type intervals where you're coming in, you're ramping up the intensity, keeping the volume low, and you're getting in and getting out. That is the whole key with weight training, especially for the sprinting cyclist that wants to be able to hang with the climbers that are smashing it up, these quick, punchy climbs, and want to be there at the end when it's time for you to sprint. When it's time to sprint, it's not about being it's not about putting out max watts, right? Like, we tend to think about max watts. I think that comes into play, but that doesn't matter if you're not in shape. Being fit at the end and being there, you know, being on the right wheel, but making sure you have the energy to be on the right wheel. That's the key of winning a sprint. You have to have the energy to be there and be able to get any wheel you want, and then you're able to open it up. We forget tactics. That's just the fitness part. Having a 1500 watt sprint for 5 seconds doesn't mean shit if you're not able to be there. This is a dynamic effort box squat. All right, you're probably wondering, like, what the hell are you doing now, Craig? Basically what I'm doing is I'm taking a band and I'm anchoring at the bottom, putting it over the barbell obviously, and what this is going to do, it's actually going to bring the barbell down on me. And so what's going to happen is when I get to the bottom of my exercise here as I'm ascending, it's actually going to increase tension as I'm coming up. And what that's going to do, it's going to demand me to fire even faster. Again, we're working on rate of force development. Cycling, we're already doing a bunch of endurance work. I'm pedaling, I don't know how many pedal strokes, in an hour, 2 hour, 3 hour ride. There's no point of me weightlifting for that long. I need to work on my speed, my power, my strength. Again, power is force times acceleration. So I'm going to work on that sweet spot of both force and acceleration, working on specific power, so no one smokes me in the sprint. All right, that feels pretty light to me, so I'm going to go ahead and add some weight. Now, when it comes to the box squat, let me adjust it so you... Now, when it comes to this, weight-wise, you want to stick around 40 to 60% of your 1 rep max on a regular box squat. Go ahead and add the bands. Keep your weight, again, around 40 to 60%. Focus on speed. If you're not moving it fast, if the bands are if you're having a hard time pushing through the bands, then you need to lower the weight. Definitely keep the weight low and just get used to the movement, especially sitting on the box. Now the box I really like because it kind of breaks up the eccentric kinetic chain, and what that's doing is, in a way, it's forcing me to recruit more like a standing start, which is really nice. Mentally, you have to think about, the context of what you're trying to improve. So just then, I pretended like I was sitting third, fourth wheel, and it was time for me to jump out of the saddle and begin my sprint. And, when it comes to sprinting, you want a really strong jump and try to get in front of, try to jump out in front, try to lose anybody that's potentially on your wheel so you can get them out of your draft if there happens to be another sprinter on you. So mentally, I'm thinking in the same context of how much I need to explode, and that's motivating me to fire as fast as I can, right? Because at the end of the day, this is all neurological programming, and so, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to end each rep as fast as I can. That's why we keep the reps low. We want to neurologically program. If I were to do 8 reps, I'm going to end the last one very slow because, in terms of ATP, you just start to lose that energy, right? Like your first 2 or 3 reps, that second rep is a sweet spot. So you only need about 2 reps when you're doing these. We'll do another set. Also, I'm going to keep the sets low. I'm going to do about 5. Usually, typically around 4 to 5 is all you need. You don't need to do a whole lot of volume. Again, it's all about just neurological quality programming, improving that rate of speed of discharge. All right, that concludes that. Oh my God. Neurologically, you just feel this lightning shockwave just go right through your whole body. From the last one, just felt it go from from my legs all the way up to my head. Dynamic effort box squats, give them a try. And I would highly suggest perfecting your box squat first before you even begin with bands. A good box squat is basically trying to get your hip joint just below knee joint. The key is to push the hips back, and you want to try to get the lower leg perpendicular with the floor. Okay, you don't want your knees too far out like that, right? You don't want your heels too far back, rather, but you want to try to push your hips back and really, really deliberately sit back on it, okay, and that way you're truly isolating your glutes there, okay, and then from there, boom, you just flex the glutes from there and ascend right up, and make sure you extend all the way through the hips. That is the key. You don't want to shortchange the extension there. If you shortchange the extension, then you're not getting most out of your glute power development, which is, at the end of the day, that's what we're trying to do as cyclists, especially those that want to sprint. Most cyclists, at the end of the day, if you stand up and you pedal hard as hell, you are a sprinter. I don't care how much you weigh, how fast you can go up a hill. Every cyclist should consider themselves a sprinter. Why not? It doesn't matter if you're, like me, I'm not going to make the lead group in most heavy situations where there's a big climb, right? It's just not going to happen. I weigh 170 pounds and, I have a BMX background. I don't really have an endurance background. I would say that I'm predominantly more fast twitch. That's obvious. But I would say at the end of the day, if there's a 2-3 man break up the road, one of those guys needs to be the fastest guy, and why not you? At the end of the day, all three of you guys are sprinting for the win. So why not develop your sprint? And in this channel, that's what I'm looking to do for you guys. I'm looking to give you guys more ideas and liberate your thinking and expand your mind in terms of the possibilities, in terms of improving your sprint. What would improving your sprint do for you? And that's what I want to do. And for the rest of us that don't have a great endurance background and you're a little bit heavy like me and like most cyclists, what would losing a few pounds, but more importantly, improve your sprinting do for you? If we could improve your jump out of the saddle, if we can improve your efficiency while you're standing up, if we can improve your power and efficiency when you're giving it everything you have, and more importantly, improving your fitness to where you're there at the end when it counts. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how fast you are, I'm going to say it every time, if you're not fit to be there at the end, then no one really cares what your maximum output is. If you guys were entertained or if you guys found value in this video, make sure that you like the video, but more importantly, subscribe and hit the notification bell, and that way you get notified when I go live or when I post videos. So looking forward to seeing you in the next video. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys want to see from me. All right, Greg Romero, the Sprinting Cyclist, and I'm out.